And I think that's actually an ongoing, oh my God, this is amazing. You guys are never gonna get through this. And it's been 13 minutes. Every piece of advice I've ever given, I've really cherished as advice I try to tell myself. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to get to the point where I was like, oh, I'm worthy enough. I have self-respect and self-love and all those kind of things. And I think they're, things get tested, especially being in the acting industry. I'm sure it happens in a lot of people's things, but from my perspective in the acting industry, I mean, you're not pretty enough. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too whatever. You're too this. You're constantly having to really know your own worth and know that you're enough because, let alone from that perspective. And then when you're put out there, there's a lot of people's opinions. So really practicing those type of things, I think is really important because I always love the analogy too that, you can't help anyone else if you don't put on your, the oxygen mask on a plane thing first. So I really believe in that as well. Okay. And this is a lot. Girly, these people, wait, what? It's going so fast. Push-ups me again. Yes, I would do push-ups with you again. Oh, heart. The filter is money. The filter is money? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What? No. Gifts are money. Guys, don't do that. You don't need to give me money. They cost money. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. Stop spending money. Oh, that's a cat is lying. I guess I don't understand. I'm learning TikTok. You guys don't ever feel like if these gifts cost you something, please don't feel like, this is not, you don't have to. It's totally fine. Okay, got sidetracked. I'm going to focus. Okay, what does my morning routine usually look like? Okay, my morning routine. That line. My morning routine is pretty strict in the sense that I wake up in the morning and I wake up in the morning, duh. I usually I have these Sakara morning drops that I add to water. I make sure I drink a full glass of water first thing. And then I make my coffee, which has adaptogens and powders and collagens and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite the process. So I really like to make sure I drink my glass of water and I make my coffee and then I make my bed and then I kind of decide what to do from there. But those are probably the top three things. If there's dishes in the sink, which is usually unusual for the next morning, but if there's anything that needs to be washed, I will usually do that next. And then the kind of the day goes from there based on what has to be done. Whether it's go to work out or go to shower or, anything like that. So yeah. Oh, I can disable sending gifts while I'm in the live? You guys, this is a lot. I'm sorry. No one gave me a heads up about this at the beginning. Okay, I'm just gonna go forward. Guys, you don't have to send me gifts. The cowboy thing was fun. I will say all these, they're fun, but guys, okay, I'm going into your active TikTok era is everything, but when can we see you dance? I need to do a dance video for sure. I feel like I get a little self-conscious doing one myself, and it's really hard to get people to want to do a dance video with you, to be honest. So I think that, I want to do more TikTok dances. I know, Sophie has sent me many that she's like, do this one. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then, I don't do them because I kind of chicken out. So the goal is to do more TikTok dance videos. I remember doing one back in the day with Barrett, which was so much fun. But that was we spent a whole day during the pandemic doing a TikTok dance, which was a lot of fun to do, when we had all more time. Have I learned anything? Oh, from Kevin's acting approach or leadership on set. I learned a lot he was the first ever actor director I watched, and I learned a lot from him because it's very much two sides of your brain. Directing is still creative, but it's also very logistical in a lot of ways. You're really having to keep, I guess your first AD is kind of the one that's keeping you. I do like the cowboy one, but guys, if this costs you money, please don't. You're fine. But that being said, I learned a lot as to how he was able to balance out both. And I thought that was really beneficial because he doesn't actually do that thing that a lot of actor director do, which like they need to watch every take after they're done because they need to see what it looks like, and it really eats up a lot of time. And so what I learned from him is like he really trusts his crew, and he would film his scenes that he was acting in. He was able to be present in those, and then during the turnaround, which is when the cameras turn to the other side of the line, he will usually then look at playback. He will then look at playback. And so I thought that was really great, and just how he trusts the crew. And the crew loves him. Like the crew really love him because he values their time. He works fast. He understands what isn't important to get what you can wait, spend your time on more than other things. And he's directed the most episodes in Grey's Anatomy history. And so he's got a lot of knowledge. And specifically what a lot of directors don't get is a lot of knowledge in how to direct one specific show, which is so important because he really has this instinctual secondhand way. This instinctual way of how he does it on Grey's because he's been doing it for so long and has been a part of it for so long. So I learned a lot. Life contains themes that may find uncomfortable and street. Okay. I don't know what is happening. Someone said it's being restricted because of body. Am I showing? Oh, guys, stop it. You can't see anything. Maybe I'll get Kevin to do a dance with me, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many things. TikTok moves much faster than Instagram. I didn't realize that. So someone said, what do my tattoos mean? I have 3 tattoos. I have the one that's most important. The other ones, I just have. But the one behind my ear is a question mark. And it happened, I've never been able to explain it really eloquently, but someone when I was 12 years old when I was 12 years old, she had a question mark behind her ear, and I was at an audition. And I was like, what does that mean? That's so cool. I was a kid that was very curious and asked a lot of questions, and it kind of suit me. It did at the time. It was interesting, and I didn't fully get it. She's like basically just about how always continue to ask questions and be curious about life, and there's no such thing as a wrong answer. And she kind of explained it in this really eloquent way. And so when I was in my early 20s and going through a really tough time, I was like, this is what's important, is to constantly realize like we're constantly evolving and learning. And so, to continue to do that. And so it's kind of an all the time reminder, this question mark behind my ear. So yeah, I do love that. That's a great question. I don't think there's a single deleted marina scene that didn't air. I think everything we shot always aired. Hi, Kim from Brazil. Again, I was saying on Instagram earlier too, it's amazing to see all the people from all over the world and how we can connect in this way. Whether it's helping me pick out outfits or getting to chat and answer your questions. It is different earrings. So for those that were on the other one, I switched out to these earrings instead. The other ones did not want to stay in my ears. So it was a quick switch. So I just went to red. I don't know. I think my favorite, someone said, what's your favorite Disney princess? I don't know. I don't know if Mulan is Mulan's a princess? She's a princess, right? Probably Mulan, I guess. I need like a list. Like sometimes when they say what's your favorite, I'm like, can you tell me all of them again? Because then I'll say something like, what about so-and-so? And I'm like, oh yeah. From the Philippines. Wow, this is crazy. So fast. Hi, Emily. I wonder why. Romania. Hi, Anna. Adriana. Yeah. This is great though. What I love is like everybody from around the world is able to really connect. And I really love it. And for people that don't know, I'm someone who loves to travel. So it's great to see that it's international love and a really beautiful universe and community to be a part of. So I tried to see if there's any other questions. Okay. Let me go back to, these happen fast. Like, I wonder why these happen so fast. It's impressive how quickly these questions come in on TikTok. Congrats on voicing. Oh yeah, voicing Jenna. I voiced the Jenna in Lucinda Berry's audio thriller. This is a safe space, and someone said, "How was the experience? What was the biggest challenge in conveying emotion through voice alone, or did you find other things challenging?" You know, it was interesting. It was I really loved not having to have the hair, the makeup, the wardrobe, and just getting to really live in my head. You know, read off a page. It's very challenging because, and Allison, the director, actually said it to me while we were doing it. She's like, listen, because it was my first one. She's like, you're going to think that you can't read. Like, you're going to think and feel, you're like, can I not read? What is going on? Because you'll read a sentence and you'll get some words wrong, or you will stumble through it. Or she's like, you'll say the sentence and I'll tell you said a word wrong and you won't even realize it. And so that didn't happen too much, but at the beginning it was definitely a learning curve. And so I really enjoyed that challenge. And by the end of it, I felt like I was like, okay, I'm ready for my next audiobook. Let's do this again. So yeah, I really enjoyed sitting in a room with my shoes off. It's probably why I'm also gravitate towards playing like these characters that you wouldn't normally get cast in with animated films and stuff. But I do, you know, there's a thing that is different in regards to like when you do put on the costume and the hair and makeup, it helps you add a different layer to a character that you can't do with audiobooks. And so yeah, so it had its elements, but for me, it was a wonderful, exciting challenge that I'd never experienced before. And so I would love to do another one, but I'm excited to see how you guys like this one first and foremost. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's see. Which role has most transformed you as a person and why? I think, you know, it's probably Maya because I played her the longest. And so I actually was having this conversation with someone where I don't know if it was the act of portraying a character for 7 years that, you know, I really learned from her and grew from her, which I did, but also it's 7 years of my life. So a lot of my life changed in those 7 years. So it kind of happened simultaneously that both I was growing up and Maya was learning to evolve and grow and go through her ups and downs. And so I think it transformed me the most in regards to like I grew the most with her at the same time, you know, which I just have never gotten the opportunity to do with other characters. Other characters have had profound impacts on me, but it feels like Maya, we really went on a 7-year journey together. So that was most transformed. So for people that don't know, I shadowed, which means like for directing, I shadowed a director on Fire Country. And what really drew me to, it says, what drew you to shadowing on Fire Country? And was there something about the show that intrigued me? I mean, I think the obvious thing is it was a firefighting show. And I lived firefighting shows for years. And so I think that was the original thing I gravitated towards. It does a really good job with action. And I realized while directing and shadowing is I'm someone who really loves action. And I think it does a really good job of that on Fire Country. And, you know, the inside thing is that, you know, the showrunner is one of my dear, dear friends, Tia Napolitano. And so I just want to work with her selfishly any chance I can get, and get to kind of bring her words into, you know, on the screen, because I think she's so amazing and so talented. So I think there was multiple elements of it. And I think, you know, Jerry Bruckheimer produces some really great stuff. And so I think being a part of something that you know, JBT does is would be really cool. So yeah, there's multiple elements about what intrigued me. I think it's a really fun show. I think it's got really fun dynamics. I think the characters are fun. I think the writing's fun. I think the action is fun. I guess the key word I'm saying here is fun. It just looks like it'd be a really fun yet challenging show to direct on. So yeah, that would be my reason. If I had to try a brand new sport I've never done before, what would it be? This is hard for people that don't know this too. Like, I did everything growing up. I figure skated, played soccer, tried basketball, tried softball, gymnastics, dance, every type of dance, you know, tap, lyrical, point, hip hop, jazz. Like, I did a lot. Tennis, golf, skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, water skiing, snow skiing. Like, I've done a lot. So it's hard to think what sport I would do that I haven't done before. But what I can say is Let me see if there's one that funny enough, is I just said my favorite sport is hockey, and I've actually never played hockey. I've never played hockey. I've never tried hockey. So maybe that would be fun one to try. But I feel like I'm also at the age, the last thing I want to do is get, number one, hit by a hockey. Oh, surf. Yeah, surf. I did do surfing though. What am I talking about? When I did Summerland, I learned how to surf. I'm not good at it, but I learned how to surf. So yeah, I think hockey is the one thing I've never done. I just think it sounds like it would really hurt and be very hard. I feel like I'm at that age where I'm like, nah, like maybe not hockey anymore. But I have been of late really wanting to get back into tennis and golf. I think there's something that's really said about when you get older, those sports are kind of nice to do. You get outside, you get a workout, because sometimes, sometimes I get bored with just doing the same old workouts. It'd be nice to kind of get out there. And golf, I guess, it's a workout, but you're not like getting your heart rate up too much. But tennis, yes. So those would be sports I'd want to get into, but hockey would be the one I've never done before. This is a great one. How does it feel to switch from working all the time with the same cast to not working with them anymore? It was hard. What's even weirder is just the kind of routine and the kind of pattern and just it's routine. It's your life. I'm going to work, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week with the same crew, the same, cast, the same writers, the same producers, and really living life, getting to check in, how the kids, like it was such a shift to not have that anymore. And funny enough, it's like, it's almost hit me more now that it's part of our job, but to be again on a show for 7 years and to change it up, like it is part of our job. A lot of times you have, that's what this industry is you work with someone intimately for months, years, the whole thing. And then the whole point of the job is then you go, okay, bye. And you have these memories you cherish, but now you're just not, because this industry is so fast moving, and you go off to I went off to shoot in Atlanta, and people went off to shoot other places, and it's just really hard to kind of try to get back to some sort of routine with the people from that. And I've always tried over the years, but it gets harder and harder. And when you start growing up and having even your own life outside of it, you're not young anymore, and that pulls you away too. It's really hard to just keep some sort of like connection, which really is so sad, but that's part of the industry. And then you run into each other at a convention or a red carpet event, and it's like no time has passed. So it's sad, it's weird, but it is part of the industry. And it's just something that this time, though, like I said, it's 7 years that I was in this, so it definitely is harder than other ones that have been 1-2 years. So yeah, let's see if there's any questions on here. Trying to look at, they go away fast too. Someone said, what are you the most excited about with Brazil? And I said, I said in my head, I was like, the fans, like, the Brazilian fans are so passionate, and I've heard from so many, and I've only ever gotten to meet a very, very few, at some of the conventions that I've, been able to come. And it's going to be really exciting to meet all the Brazilian fans. Advice for teens struggling with mental health is go easy on yourself. You're not alone. Our mental health is important. Feeling safe and protected is important. Our emotional well-being is important. You're not alone. Learn to find that self-worth and self-respect. And if you feel like you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. It's extremely important to never feel like you're alone, and know that you have people in your life you can reach out to. And, learning to really love ourselves and figure out how to gain self-worth and self-respect. It sadly, I think, especially as women, it takes time. Maybe from societal pressures, family pressures, but it feels like it's something that really takes time, because there's all of this media out there telling us we have to act a certain way, look a certain way, talk a certain way. And that can be really hard when you're like, I don't fit into that box. So it's hard. It's being a teenager is hard. There's nothing easy about it. I try to tell people to live in the moment though, because there's amazing memories that happen when we're younger, and yet we can't really live in the moment of them because we have the constant stress of comparison to other people, other things, and just try to live in the moment. Try to really enjoy it so that, you know, you can look back and remember those fond memories, and then really work on loving yourself. And knowing your own worth and knowing that you're enough. I always think that's very important. It's a lot to take in. It all takes work. It doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, and journal. Write it out. A lot of times in our heads, we get wrapped up in things we're feeling and thinking, and the truth is once we put them on paper and get them out there, you realize like, okay, no, I was kind of spiraling out of control with that thought or that feeling. But it's go easy on yourself. Teens is a tough time between, you know, hormones and stress of, you know, moving into adulthood, and there's a lot of factors. So go easy on yourself. Hold on. I love puzzles. Yes, I do. I love puzzles. I love Alaska. I've been to Alaska. I absolutely love it. I went to Spencer Glacier, and I went to Fairbanks, and I went to Anchorage. I'm making sure I'm getting any questions. They go really fast, so I have to hold on to them. I feel like I'm going cross-eyed. How was cutting my hair on station? It was awesome. It was so nerve-wracking because we only had one take. And I remember they rolled the camera for the first take, and I actually said, wait, stop. And I just had to like take a couple breaths and do it again because I knew we only had one take. So I knew that I needed to just be mentally, because they were filming my face as well. I had to be not thinking about cutting my hair, but where my character was emotionally in that moment. Hello, France. I'm doing this like scroll thing slowly. Oh, geez. And then they go away so fast. My favorite place in Scotland is probably Isle of Iona. I really loved Isle of Iona when I went there. There's really nothing, I think, like it in the world, that one specific place, but I love Scotland. I love the north of Scotland and the Highlands. That's my favorite. It just feels like you're not here in this world. They happen so fast. If someone said, if I had a film, where in the world I'd want to film my next thing. It's interesting. I think it'd be really nice to film something in Europe. Just so I can actually be there, really getting to it feels like every time I'm there, it's quick, you know, it's a quick amount of time. I kind of in and out, and I don't get to experience it. In this last summer, I got to really spend time in the south of France and just get to immerse myself in it for a couple weeks. And that felt really valuable. So it'd be nice to be able to work in Europe, to really be able to this cowboy hat and mustache, and to be able to really get to just be there longer, get to meet locals and hang out and that kind of stuff, and not feel like I'm in a rush to kind of see all the things and do all the things. Let's see another question. People want to know Ford's backstory and what made you decide to get him. His backstory. I feel like he's like a character. So Ford is my dog. Fordy, come here. Bubbles. Bubbles. Bubbles, come here. Come here. Come on. Say hi. Say hi to people. Come here. Can you say hi? I know. You're tired today. Sorry, he's pulling my jacket. I'm sorry. Can't do that. He'll be here. So Ford's backstory is Kendall, who worked costumes on Station 19, was dog watching her friend's dog Birdie, who was an Australian Labradoodle that she got from Hunterberry Hill, Labradoodles. And during the pandemic, Kendall wanted to get a Labradoodle herself, so yeah, she said that there's some puppies that were available, and I was like, okay, and I put in an application and talked to the woman, and next thing you know, Ford and I were connected. But he is technically, his mix is Cocker Spaniel, Labrador, and Poodle. That's the proper mix. And yeah, he's named after Harrison Ford, and yeah, he's I love him. And I get really sad when I'm not with him. I'm trying to find ways that it's really fun when I get to travel the United States, especially by RV or by trailer, you know, more like driving places, because I get to bring him. But traveling international, I think, is just too hard on a dog. It's just not fair to him, as selfishly as I'd love to bring him with me. I'm just never in a place long enough to really let him kind of feel, you know, dogs moving in planes and all that kind of stuff is, I think, pretty traumatizing. So, but he loved getting to go to Montana and Yellowstone and all that kind of stuff. So I love to get to take him when I can. What story would I tell? Let's see if you could. Whew, that's a good one too. What time are we at? I want to make sure I'm doing the quick round at some point. A petition for me to... Here's the thing. If we combine those two, if I were to work in Europe, I would bring Ford with me. And then Ford would get to be in Europe. That would be pretty epic. Would I cut my hair short again? Yes, I would. I would definitely cut my hair. Gosh, I see a question and I want to answer it, and I can't remember exactly what it was, and it's gone. I would definitely cut my hair again. I'm always I always have the desire to cut it, color it, do something with it. I usually get talked out of it. That's why Station was so great, because I got to actually do it. The panic attack scenes, I'm so happy that they resonated with you. Those were really hard to shoot. Tom Verica was directing us, and they were just really hard scenes to shoot. I was actually at the time, yeah, buddy, I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Hi. Like, he's just like, please scratch me. Yes. Those are really hard to see. I was actually at the time doing the egg retrieval process for Chris and Jake. So I was pumped full of hormones too. So it was funny because I think Stefani kind of reminded me the other day. Do you want to come here? Come here. This side? Come here. Want to lay? Stefania kind of reminded me that, I struggled with that scene in regards to, I kept doing it thinking, is that right? Is this right? Because the thing is as we go through panic attacks, you really don't know what's happening. That's the whole point of a panic attack. You kind of it's so physical. Your chest gets tight, and, you just kind of, it's hard to try to replicate that, because it does feel, panic attacks do feel so physical as well as mental. So, I kind of, it was a tough scene to shoot, but I'm glad it resonated with you so much. Okay. So weird, guys. Let's see what another question is. Here, I'll do this. There we go. And it's like that. Let's see. Italian food or chocolate? Chocolate. Hi, Kim. Contacts or glasses? My contact. I love wearing my glasses, but it's kind of like it's a little fun thing I get to do every once in a while. Let's see, what else? Oh gosh, it goes so fast. My favorite color is hunter green. It's a very specific green. I love it. For those that don't know, someone said my favorite ice cream flavor. The thing is I can't eat ice cream because I'm lactose intolerant. So, don't get me wrong, every once in a while I take the risk, but I do a lot of lactose-free ice cream and stuff like that. But I did when I was in Europe. There was chocolate sorbet, which I loved, and I tried to have as much as I could. Someone said, did I wish Station 19 had another season? Yeah, I wish it had 10 more seasons. LA or Europe? Europe. I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, I like cats. I don't think I'll ever own a cat myself, but I do like cats. I'm more of just a dog person in regards to owning a dog. I would love to visit Sicily one day. Just have to make it happen. I have been to Switzerland, and I absolutely loved it. I've been to Germany, but I will come back again. Oh man, this is hard to keep up with everything that's happening. Okay, just a little, they won't jump so fast. If you scroll up, oh, now I'm realizing that. 45 minutes in. Oh no, I did it and it still jumped down. Sorry. Whoever said that, I tried that tactic and it did it for a second and then it jumped back down again. It keeps jumping back down even when I scroll up. That's so silly. Let's see. What is that? What's that? Huh? Would I ever make another musical album? Probably not, but never say never. But probably not. I have that song coming out with Alex this year that I'm really excited for everyone to hear, but I will not be releasing a full album. I don't know what I just did, but I almost pressed something wrong, I think. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the questions. I did a couple questions from here. Would I do Dancing with the Stars? Sure. I would be so nervous, but that'd be fun. The music video is going well for that song that we're releasing. It's just gonna take some time. It's getting a lot of people together, and people have schedules. Alex is performing and traveling, and the DP is also working on other projects. So we tried to do it before I left town, and now that I'm back, it's just been a little hard to get the logistics down, but we are gonna do it basically in August. So not basically in August. So that'll be fun to finally do. Bonnie Wee Lass, yes. I have not gone to Norway, but I really want to. I love Vancouver. Fire Country shoots in Vancouver, so every time I'm up there, and my first ever television show, Kaya, shot in Vancouver, as did Supernatural Bloodlines that I did. So I love getting the opportunity when I get to go to Vancouver. It's a beautiful, beautiful place of the world. Okay. So let me see, would I ever act on stage at some point? Yeah, I would definitely act on stage. I would love to. I know it would probably be the scariest acting experience, but I would absolutely love to act on stage and do theater. So one day, that's definitely gonna happen. That's a bucket list that is definitely gonna happen. Oh, there's so many. Someone said if I could ever greenlight any female-led project, no budget, no limits, with total creativity and freedom, what story would I like to tell and why? I got really attached to the story about the female fighter pilots of World War II. And that was, I really got invested in that and I'm passionate about that. But there's so many that I've even done myself. I'm like, who else in history are we not talking about? And there are so many women's stories that had such a profound impact that just aren't really discussed. Or had movies about. I mean, anywhere from like, you think of just the simple stuff of Eleanor Roosevelt or oh my God, I'm forgetting names right off the top of my head. There's so many women that have done so much in history that have, their stories have just not been told because we're sitting here telling the same male historical story over and 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 over. So yeah, there's a lot. To answer that. Okay, so what time? 13 minutes. I want to make sure I get to the quick fire round, and I want to make sure that I get through all these questions. Has there been a person who surprised you most this year so far? I don't know. Okay, those are kind of those questions because I don't know how to answer. The other one was, what has surprised me the most about how people have responded to Heard? I'm not fully sure. I think most people have been very, I think, accepting and grateful that Heard exists, that it was made. But I haven't really delved into those conversations about Heard, my short film, yet, just because it's a really sensitive subject matter and it's hard to talk about it without, feeling very passionate about that subject matter, and a lot of people have had their own experiences. So it's a sensitive subject matter that's hard to discuss. So far what I've seen has been positive feedback about the fact that it was made and what it meant to so many. So yeah. But yeah, I've really, I enjoyed making it as hard as it was, and I hope that it really resonates with people, and I can't wait to talk about it more. Should I do the quick fire round? Or let's see, any more, couple little questions here. I've never seen The Rookie, the TV show The Rookie. Someone says, have you seen it? I've been to the Caribbean islands. Someone said, would you ever go to my favorite flower? The hat and the mustache. I love North Dakota. I've been to North Dakota too. I've been a lot of places, guys. If I lived with any one of my co-stars, who would it be? I lived with Melissa for a while. I mean, I would live with almost, Melissa, Kelly Sullivan, Stefania, Francia, Hayden. Like, there's so many that I've worked with that I would 100% take a stab at living with and see. Barrett, like, all of those would be really fun. Hi from SoCal. Someone from SoCal. Hey, what's up? Stop saying Danielle. Jeez. Okay, let's see. I love Texas. Yes, I would come to Texas. I have never been to Wales, but I really want to go. I do know how to horseback ride. I used to do it as a kid. I did it also in Summerland on camera, which was kind of cool to do. But yeah, I love horseback riding. I love horses. They're absolutely amazing. I have never tried Venom in Scotland. Some of these questions I'm just laughing at. I do not know where my rising sign. Someone has for sure told me, but I do not know what it is. My arm is getting tired trying to hold the screen with oh, this is a little puppy dog licking me. I have not read a ton of the comments on her. Someone said you should, so sounds like that's something I really need to get on top of. I will watch The Rookie. Someone's like, you need to watch The Rookie. I think The Rookie is Nathan, is it Fillion? Yeah. And I love him as an actor, so I loved him in that show he had before Castle. If that's the one The Rookie is, which I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, my stomach's growling. Favorite place to scuba dive? I scuba dived in the Maldives and it was absolutely amazing. So I probably would do that again. I really want to go to scuba dive in Madagascar. And if you can scuba dive I don't know if you can scuba dive in Galapagos Islands. That's awesome. You're teaching horseback riding. Let's see. It's this AJ Cook. It's so funny. I've been to Amsterdam and I absolutely love it. Okay, now it's that time that I might get into the rapid rounds. So for people that are joining us that maybe don't know me or what was going on, because I guess TikTok is a whole new world for me, and this hat and mustache is, these lives were kind of brought up. I'm new to TikTok, and this live was thought up because there was supposed to be a convention in Chicago that I was attending, and it got canceled shockingly at the last second. And so I felt like this was a way to really connect with everybody around the world, or those that were going to be at the convention, because I really love it too. I love getting to connect with people and hug people and talk to people. So definitely sending everyone virtual hugs, and thank you for partaking in this. Thank you for helping me pick my outfits, even though I guess this jacket was a little bit of an issue, which I didn't realize. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for playing a part in this, and I had a blast. This was a lot of fun. I'm making sure I get all the things out, but before I forget, because then I stopped the live, and then like the Instagram one I did earlier, I forget things. So I hope you guys had fun, because I had a blast. I love all your questions. Thank you for submitting all of them. And anything else I can think of before I do my little rapid fire round? Yeah, just this hat. Just sending lots of virtual hugs and love, and I'm sorry that that happened with the con, but I hope those that are in Chicago are having a blast and really getting to just enjoy the city regardless of everything that happened. So let's see. I'll answer a couple more questions on here too. Someone said how to help, any advice for handling anxiety, and my thing would just be learning how to do like box breathing or just taking breaths. I find like breathing and really putting your hand on your heart really helps a lot when I'm going through very much what might be diagnosed as like an anxiety attack or just serious anxiety, that tightness in your chest. So putting my hand here and really breathing in, holding it, and breathing out, and ideally counting, you know. If it's 8 in, hold for 4, 6 out, you know, stuff like that. That breathing really helps during anxious moments. My sister was my stunt double very much the early parts of the show. She is not a fan of being on set. She finds it extremely boring, which, let's be honest, she's a real life firefighter. Her life is much more exciting than sitting around on set while they light a scene. Having her really helped me in a sense that it forced me, I mean, I was always gonna have a certain amount of pressure put on me to really represent female firefighters to best of my ability, and because I knew what that meant for so many and what that really represented. And so I knew that pressure was already there, but then having a sister who actually does it in real life just added a level of appreciation and admiration for what she does, but also that pressure even more. You know, I fought a couple times and I was like, no, we have to do it this way. She has to be a badass. Like, we have to show women being badass firefighters. And so it was very, very, very much a part of that. No, not Melissa O'Neill. I don't know who Melissa O'Neill is. Melissa Roxburgh? What's the one I was mentioning? Oh, happy birthday, fellow Virgo. Love that. Let's see here. Oh, from Morocco too. Wow. I have not read The Women. I have not read The Women by Kristen Hanna. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm always looking for new ones. Okay. I do not play an instrument. I wish I did play an instrument. I wish I did play an instrument, but I do not. I was too much of a little brat of a kid that I didn't keep up with my piano lessons. But if I did ever want to play an instrument, it would have been probably the violin. Anyways, okay, rapid fire. I feel like I got all the questions, but this is very stimulating, the amount of stuff that comes in at me all at once. Okay, rapid fire questions. If I could have a dinner with 3 famous people, dead or alive, what would you choose? That's always a hard one. Always a hard one. I feel like 3 famous people, dead or alive. 3 famous people, dead or alive. Charlize Theron, Emma Stone, and Kate Winslet. I don't know why those 3, the first 3 that popped in my mind, and that's what I want to have dinner with, because that sounds like a fun time. Maybe like if we could have a 4th, like Jennifer Lawrence, just to really like laugh my ass off for the entire time. Just a table dinner with badass women. Which Disney character is my favorite? I think I answered this a couple times, but I think, well, Disney. Maybe Mulan. I've said in the past Tarzan. I loved the movie Tarzan growing up because I loved the music that Phil Collins brought to it. It really resonated with me as a kid. But probably Mulan was a big one, if not probably my favorite Disney character besides Tarzan. The coolest filming location I've ever been to. I've been to so many great ones. South Africa, Cape Town was amazing. Bulgaria, I loved the people in Bulgaria too. I've been to a ton of places in Canada, Georgia, Atlanta. I love them all. I'm someone who loves to travel. It's very hard for me to say a place that is my favorite. But I do love Scotland and I do love Montana. Those are 2 places I absolutely love. But I love everywhere. If I could only eat one type of chocolate forever, which would you choose? Ooh. Some sort of, only one type of chocolate. some sort of like dark chocolate with sea salt, something simple from like a really, really obscure high-end chocolate brand, like not one of the ones you can buy at a grocery store. Like that would probably be like the really expensive stuff. That would probably be it. Ooh, if Ford was a girl, what name would she have? I don't know. I tend to like names that can be interchangeable for boys and girls, so I feel like I would have come up with something that could have been either. I don't know. That's a really great question. That's got me thinking. I think I'm gonna come up with, if Ford was a girl, what would their name be? Favorite brand growing up? I mean, I was obsessed with Britney Spears, guys, but my favorite band was Spice Girls. I mean, I was obsessed with the Spice Girls. Obsessed. Dressed up as Baby Spice for Halloween. I had a Spice Girl group. I owned every Spice Girl memorabilia thing that you could possibly imagine. So I love the Spice Girls. Anyways, okay, guys, it's 1:29, 1 minute left. This was so much. I feel like there's so many more questions coming in that I was unable to answer, but I had such a blast. I hope you guys did too. Yes, I will eventually one day come to Peru, and my one word in French is je t'aime. Thank you guys so much for all of this. I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. I will do my best to save this or keep this because, again, I'm new to this, so we'll see how this goes. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this, sending so many virtual hugs. Love you all. Mwah. I don't know what I'm pressing.